I'm going to go ahead and get started. It's 6:30 Central Time now, and we're recording this for everyone to be able to view at another time. Welcome, everyone. I'm Dr. Gail Van Cannigan. I am an energy practitioner, and I'm going to bring to you tonight some inside look at what your distance energy session might look like for you. We hear a lot about distance energy work and how does it work? How do you get energy to go from one place to another? Many unanswered questions I receive all the time. So I thought it was about time that I did a program for you who would be maybe interested in receiving a distance session from someone and to have a little bit more knowledge about it so you have confidence in the practice and how well it works. So again, welcome everyone. And I would like to start off our time together with a little dedication. And I have a couple of cards that I have drawn from the Messages of Universal Wisdom card deck, and I drew support. So I would like to read it to you to start our session. And I'm also going to play the Alchemy Crystal Bowl, which I'll be introducing 4 of these beautiful, beautiful beings tonight. This one happens to be platinum and moldavite. This is my brand new bowl. So we start off our support, and I'll show the image while I read. The support is speaking to you. I hold vibrations of unconditional love and compassion. My purpose is to remind you that there are no wrong turns in the experience of life. I invite you to choose unconditional love and compassion as your foundations and feel confident in allowing your true self to flourish. The labyrinth reminds us that life is a sacred journey which we never travel alone. As you awaken, you become increasingly aware of the guidance and support available from your higher self and other guides. Support surrounds you. Simply ask for assistance as you joyfully step forward to find your truth and magnificence. You are fully supported as you discover your own unique path. So welcome to the first class of 3. And we're going to talk about what distance energy sessions are like for us on the inside and the outside. So one of the things, there's a lot of words that pretty much mean the same or have a lot of crossovers for definitions. And energy vibration is one, subtle energy, quantum energy, and of course, sacred geometry. Now, there are some subtle differences between them, but they are little. And I'm going to talk about all of that. Okay. So in the beginning, there was light, and the light is still here today, which is great because we need our light, and we need our light to continue to shine for us, and we need it to shine from the universe down to us through our light sources. Okay. So everything is energy. There's multiple kinds of energy. Mechanical is the forceful movement of, and it makes a sound when it moves, like maybe scraping a chair across the floor when you're moving it from one side of the table to the other. That's a mechanical energy. Chemical energy holds things together. So I'm thinking of super glue, or maybe water in flour. The water holds the flour together. It bonds those molecules together. So anything to bonding molecules together and creating another substance. Then we have thermal, which is about heat. And when things heat up, it moves objects from one place to another. It moves atoms from one place to another, and it gets it all moving and stirring around. So we have thermal energy. And then there's light, which is electromagnetic waves. And there's a huge spectrum of light waves, which I'm not going to go into all of them because it's like a 9,000-hour course in light spectrum, and we're not going to go do that. But just know that light is an electromagnetic wave, and we'll talk a little bit about some of those things. And then we have energy vibrations, and this is the movement from different atoms. As they come together, they vibrate, and one vibrates and it vibrates another and another and another, and you can get chain reactions and get the whole strand moving from that vibration. And vibrations can be high or low. And so when I strike the alchemy crystal bowl, the sound that is created from the mechanical movement turns into an energetic vibration, and the atoms start moving, and this is a high vibration. It's not a high vibration because of the note that's being played, but it's a high vibration because of how quickly it moves. Low vibrations are more like what we walk through every day in our life, which is the stressful energies that we walk in and that surround us. Those are low vibrating energies. And the higher vibrating ones are the ones that are filled with light and love and the sound of music and the sound of light and all of that. So there is a difference between the high and the low. Okay. So the subtle energy movement. Here we have the alpha waves at the top, and you can see it actually looks, if you're a nurse or familiar with it, looks like somebody's heart is fibrillating and having a problem, but it's actually brain waves. And when we have our alpha waves active, it's when we're meditating or when we're really calm. Maybe we're in a learning process and we're reading a book and we're feeling creative, and we're in the process of reducing our stress. So we can be awake but resting, and our eyes can be closed. They don't have to be, but they generally are when the alpha waves are active within our brains. Okay. And we'll go to beta waves. The beta waves are ones that help keep our attention focused, helps us with problem solving. Our conscious thought comes from beta waves, and our logical thinking. There are recordings that have binaural beats, and that's where you have vibrations coming from both sides of the head, and they're joining together and they're fusing and creating this pulsatile beat of music, or just a wave of sound, and that stimulates the beta waves in our brains. Then we have the gamma waves. The gamma waves are fun because they're called monk's brain. And this is with the subtle energy movement that we notice when we're doing energy healing. So the fastest brain wave is the gamma waves. And you can see how quickly that the ups and downs are going, how fast they go. When you meditate, you're in a gamma state. And that's why it's called monk's brain, because monks meditate, 23.5 hours a day, maybe, a lot. So when they're meditating, their brains are in that gamma state of function. So when you're intently studying, really concentrating, doing a lot of problem solving, you now have the gamma waves that are activated. Also, gamma waves are found with telekinesis, which means it's the ability for us to move objects without physically touching it. Now, there are some really cool ways to do this. I can't pick up a Rubik's Cube with my thought process and move it around like this young man is doing in the video. However, you can do it with your own body. And if you take your arm up like so, and you have hair on your arm, and if you were to think and move, and you can get your little hairs on your arms to wiggle, you can do that with practice. And that's a whole lot of fun. That's about as far as I've got to be, like moving items. Okay, so I can wiggle the hairs on my arm by thinking about it and moving it with my gamma waves. So you can play with that, practice it. A good way to get started with that is to just wiggle your fingers over your arm so that you're moving the energy waves, and then you'll eventually get those hairs on your arms to start wiggling, and you'll feel that. And then eventually you can do it just with your mind without using the fingers. And that was one of my very first little things that I learned in energy movement, was how to make my hairs move on my forearm. Okay. Now, quantum energy, subtle energy. Subtle means just that. It's very subtle. It's not anything that's going to slam the door shut or slap you in the face. It's going to be gentle. It's going to be present. It can be very strong, but yet it's soft and gentle, and you ease yourself into what subtle energies are. Subtle energies are quantum energies. And quantum energy is the smallest unit of energy that's measurable. Quantum science, quantum scientists, measuring the atoms out in space in the quantum field is where we're familiar with this a lot. Quantum mechanics, it's matter that has wavelength properties, but it exists outside our awareness of where it's at and how much it's moving, because we can't see it, we can't feel it, we can't sense it until we become attuned to working in the quantum field. So there's really no boundaries for any of the quantum energy. So when we do, can you go back? Yeah. When we do energy healing, the quantum field we enter into, there we can see, we can feel, we can hear. All of our senses come alive in the quantum field when we're working with that energy, but it's largely not been made aware to the general public because of the fact that it takes time to become attuned to it, and training and desire, and you kind of make it your life mission to work in the quantum field. So it's teeny tiny submolecular particle size. My son works with molecular size properties of the human body all the time, and even he's not able to see the quantum size of the protons, electrons, and neutrons that are out there in the universe under his high-powered microscopes, because they don't pick it up because it's too small. Okay. The other part of energy healing by distance is utilizing sacred geometry. Sacred geometry has been around as long as there has been a universe in existence. All matter structures can be broken down into geometric shapes. Now, when I was in high school, I did not fare well in my geometry class. And it's too bad that I didn't, because I struggled with these concepts as I got out of high school and decided it was time for me to learn a little bit about this. I wish I would have learned the basics. So I'm encouraging anyone, if you're taking a geometry class, pay attention and help your children pay attention to this, because it's really our foundation for our structures and the world that we live in. So all of nature is based on sacred geometry within specific shapes, geometric shapes. Some examples: sunflowers, cactuses, other flowers, ammonites, seahorses, buildings and structures. So I'm going to show you some pictures of all of this and see how you can identify the sacred geometry patterns. And you can tell on the sunflower, all of the little seed pods there, they are all in perfect order, and there's an exact same number of seed pods and designs in every single sunflower that's ever bloomed. Everyone is identical. Okay? And there's a cactus over to the other side of it. And you can see the swirling and the exactness, the pristine shape of the geometry that's within this cactus. And every cactus of this type has the exact same number, same shape, and same perfect geometry that is from the sacred origins. There's some more flowers that have sacred geometry in them. And you can see the white one is on a grid, and the grid actually has squares and circles. And if you can see close enough, you can see triangles in it. You can see other of the sacred geometry shapes within this grid that intersects through this flower, and each section holds the same amount of petals as the one next to it, and they're all uniform shaped, and they're all the same all the way around, and every single flower of this species has exactly the same things. And our simple dandelion is also filled with sacred geometry. Even though there's no grid lines on this one, there's thousands of petals in this little tiny dandelion, but they are all uniform, again, creating a circle with multiple petals coming out in the same amount in each quadrant, following the rules of sacred geometry. Now we'll venture into the ocean. The seahorse, the curly tail. You see the curl of the anemone fossil. You see the curl of the shell. They are all the same. They all have the exact same ratios and measure according to the sacred geometry perfectly for every single one of these. Now the seahorse can uncoil and move his tail out and about, but it still has the exact same shape, and all of their tails are the same as well. Other common structures are cathedrals and churches. Every church that has ever been built in the world has sacred geometry strewn through it. Everything is very well planned to follow the rules of sacred geometry, because when they do, it raises the vibration of that facility. So churches are very high vibrational buildings. They have all the sacred geometry in it. It all goes up to a point in the top, and energy goes up to the universe, comes down from the universe. We have our spiritual life that comes down into the church and the cathedrals and fills it with sacred energy at a very high vibration. So all of those cathedrals are in churches have been built with specifics on sacred geometry. Other examples are the pyramids, the Great Pyramids, very sacred sites. And just a random building that has a number of different sacred geometry angles in it that I could tell from the outside. I have no idea what the inside looks like. But when you incorporate this kind of geometry into your building, you're raising the vibration, the energetic vibration of it, so that whatever takes place within it takes place with the highest vibration possible for those who are inside the building. Okay, so these are the plutonic solids, which is the sacred geometry shapes. They are the basic 5 plutonic solids. The first triangle is a tetrahedron. There are four faces on this. Then you have the cube, which is complete square. The one in the center is an octahedron, which has 8 faces on it. The one at the lower, I don't know what angle you're looking at, but my lower left looks like a ball. It is a dodecahedron, and it has 10 faces on it. And the one to my right is an icosahedron, which has 20 faces on it. Now, everything that you've already seen, everything that's in nature, everything that's broken down into a subatomic particle size will have these shapes within it. You can identify these platonic solids within all of it. Okay. So I'm going to take you another step further with sacred geometry and the sine waves. Again, the up and down is the oscillating of the vibration. You have high vibration and low vibration of how the energy is moving through this spectrograph that it's been recorded upon. To my right is the torus. This torus is an energy field that is surrounding our Earth. Our Earth sits in the middle of one of these, and we also have our own torus that sits around our own body. So there's lots of toruses. For every person has one, and then the Earth has one. All the planets have one, and it's a way of energy moving up, in, out, and around and through that being, that planet, that body, to bring energy in and out so that it is alive and it's breathing and moving, and the energies interact with one another, support with one another, and raise the vibrations to bring us to the highest level of healing possible. The one on my lower left in the star in the center is called the Merkaba star. And we are surrounded also by the Merkaba. Now, how can we have the sine wave or the torus and the Merkaba around our physical body? Well, we have a whole lot more than just that. And you'll see a picture of that soon. But each one of these energy fields surrounding us is nestled within the next one and the next one and the next one. And sometimes you can't really separate them out very well. It's about intention as to where you're going to go with your identifying where you're at with the energy. Am I working with the Merkaba? Am I working with the torus? Where am I at? So you can ask those questions and the energy will reveal itself to you. But in all honesty, we have 3 Merkabas that surround our body. One is close to us, like this image is, where the person is directly in the exact center of it. And the other 2 are further out from there. And they all interact together. They all move in a synchronized fashion around us to generate more energy and raise our vibration. Okay. Many of you have hopefully seen the Flower of Life or have heard about the Flower of Life. The flower of life is one of the basic patterns of sacred geometry, combining everything you've already seen, but it's sort of hidden within the shapes and the colors. If we were to filter out through this, you would be able to see all of the sacred geometry structures in here. You'd be able to trace them all and do a little dot to dot on them and create your own design. Now, what has been done with the flower of life is all of those have been connected, and it is now forming its own energy body, taking all of those, pulling them together, and now we have the flower of life, which is what gives us life. It is one of the highest vibrating sacred geometry shapes and basic shapes that are available to us that we know of. Metatron's cube. Archangel Metatron is seen frequently holding a shape of this cube. And as you can see, there are circles, there are squares, there's rectangles, there are angles all over the place within this cube. And all of the sacred geometry, the Platonic solids, are housed within this. And if I were to take the flower of life, I could superimpose it on top of the Metatron's cube. It would blend in and you would see one or the other because they are actually one. They are contained within one another at multiple levels. So this image, now take a look at this little person in the middle here, and they are standing in a jungle gym of lines and energies. So there's a sine waves that are moving through here. If you can see them, pick them out. They're kind of floating little red lines through the top. The torus is there. It's the big circle around. Okay, then there's the Merkaba. If you can identify the edges of the Merkaba coming out. Metatron's cube is also in this image. The flower of life is in here. All of the Platonic solids, the Tajé pole, which straight up and down through our center core, that's sort of by the blue line at the very top, the blue line's coming out the bottom. There's a center line coming through. That's our main energy pole that connects us to our creator and our soul all the way down into Mother Earth so that we can exchange energies. And we also have the diamond inlay here. So many, many, many different energies are all packed in around us. And it's like, how do you make sense of all of it? And how do you work with all of it? Well, you don't work with all of it at one time. You work with parts and bits and pieces, and you choose which ones are going to work for you and your client. So it's not like I don't go to do an energy session and I'm not faced with all of this at one time. I don't see all of these things at one time, because if I do, I'm too confused as to what am I supposed to do? Where do I go? So I have to ask that it present to me in the energy form that I'm going to need to use for this specific person for these specific needs. And then I can work with the energies and they will come to me one at a time instead of 7 or 8 at once, where I can't separate them out very well. And you are an endless fountain of energy, just as you saw the last picture. This one is an image from an artist, Alex Gray. He sees energy just beautifully and he paints it. And we are a fountain, and energy is coming up and down and up and down constantly. And this is another yet field of quantum energy, of subtle energy, of energy that we work with to help our bodies heal, because this image alone penetrates every bit of our body. And you can see the center line of the chakras. And there's one bright, brilliant line that goes straight down the center of the chakras. That's the Tajé pole, connecting us to Source and to Mother Earth, going right through our core energies to branch all those other energies outward towards you. So you are always a fountain of energy, and it's a beautiful thing to be able to see and feel. So do we have any questions coming through at this point, Catherine?
Yeah, Gail, but the chat line is open if anybody wants to type it in there, and then I can get them to you.
Very good. Very good. Because we're going to kind of switch gears. I wanted to introduce to you the different types of subtle energies that we have, that we're surrounded by, the platonic solids, and give a brief, very brief definition of, what is the energy that we work with when we're doing energy healing. Okay, so it's different in distance work than it is when we do in-person work. In-person work, we do a lot of hands-on manipulation and movement. That's a little different order than when we're doing actual distance work. So those subtleties can be talked about at probably our last class that we have together, when we go through what a full session might look like. So the art of raising frequency is just that. I've learned how to raise the frequency of the energy, of the vibrations surrounding myself and others, to help move that in a way to realign it for balance, for health, for bringing forward the best that we can be in this world. It's not just for people, it's also for plants, for animals, it's for the world, it's for the earth, it's for the universe. We can raise the frequency of all of that and make all of this a better place to be in. And that's my job. I've been given that duty to raise the vibration of the planet one person at a time, and keep on going and go one planet after another, and try to bring as much healing light and healing energy and high vibration to as many areas of this universe that we live in possible. So this is a picture of some of the energy tools that I use to raise the frequency of your energetic vibration. The Alchemy Crystal Bowl. Okay. And I use these with every single session, because these are blends of crystals and metal. That's why they're alchemy. There's multiple crystals in some of them that I have. And they all have very high vibrations, and they produce vibrations and sound to lift your energy field, lift your energy vibrations. So you go from the very small, chaotic waves to the big gamma waves, where your vibration goes up into that quantum area. Okay, I use these to bring my energy levels, my energy matter up to the quantum field, so I can sort of step into that area and begin to work with your energies from that quantum field. So I'm going to just give you a little more dose of this. Raise that vibration a little bit more. And I have platinum and rose quartz. Selenite. and charcoal and quartz. They're all musically tuned and they are corresponding to the musical notes. I'm not a musician, so if somebody wants to know more about it, I can tell you the notes, but I don't play music other than on these bowls. This Moldavite is a D, okay? I got a G sharp and another couple back here, so they're all musically tuned very accurately. And they're from Crystal Tones, is the company that we received these from, and they are of the highest quality. If you're interested in them, let me know, and I can put you into touch with Barbara Evans, who is my co-author for The Art of Raising Frequency here. She introduced me to these techniques back in 2014, 15-ish, and we published this book in 2016 together. And she created the healing modality of the art of raising frequency. It is a healing modality all in itself. And through the years, I have been using it and integrating it into my practice and all of the other modalities that I studied. You know, I am an energy medicine practitioner with Eden Energy Medicine. I'm an advanced practitioner. I'm a faculty member. I teach that modality. I'm a shamanic practitioner, a Reiki master, art of raising frequency practitioner, and all of this comes together so beautifully that it all merges and can be used one way or another, because I use it all together every time I work with someone. Those are my four main bodies of energy work that I do. So we have the book, which talks about the chakra keys and how can we go about raising our vibration through the images that she has been given through spirit. And you can see some of the crystal images on the bottom. There's the blue flower, that's for the third chakra, and the green and pink flower over to the left of the screen, that is for the high heart. There are cards that we use that have these images on them with messages. And one of them was what I read to you about your support. And there it goes on and on and on. There's also actual crystal stones that are a very high vibration that we use also to amplify the energy. So I use a lot of different tools to raise the vibration higher and higher and higher, because we live in a very low vibrating society. This world is very low vibration, and we want those vibrations to go up as high as we can in order to produce the best healing possible. So please know that you just can put whatever you need in your toolbox to work with. Okay. You can move. Oh, Catherine's signing someone in here. We'll wait just a moment. Okay, so this is a little sneak look at what one little layout looks like when I've done an energy grid for someone to help them heal. And I have a little surrogate doll in the center. I like to use a surrogate. I don't always, but I like to play. And if you play, you raise your vibration higher and you're happy. So I play when I do my energy work. And so I have my little girl there, and I do energy testing on her to see, you know, what energies that you might be experiencing that are out of balance. And then we work together to pull that balance in for her, meaning you. I mean, she represents you as we work together. This grid layout involves the 5 rhythms. You can see that there are actually 6 stations, but there are only the first 5 go around from the left around as the 5 rhythms. The one at the very bottom with the purple star and the white star, it's called the white diamond. That is not part of the actual rhythm cycle. It is sitting on the Tajé pole, and it is delivering energy through that Tajé pole. Spirit asked me to place this there to pull that energy up, because when it goes up the Tajé pole, then it can spread out to all areas of energy that's needed. So it's a complement, a booster. So we have the 5 rhythms of water, wood, fire, earth, and metal. And in the very center, there is a star, which is spirit. I've placed that there because in all medicine wheels, spirit seems to be left out in all the diagrams. And when I was doing my research for my doctoral work, I found that I couldn't find spirit in anywhere. And I know spirit is so important to us for our healing. So I place spirit in the center as in a representation of a purple star. So that Tajé pole goes up through the spirit and straight up through the top and out to the heavens. I have on here high vibrational crystals. I have the sacred geometry crystals that have been designed and created by Barbara Evans, and the cards that I use to, again, boost the vibration of the rhythm of the meridians of the energies. So this is my rhythm and meridian grid. I just did this the other day for someone. Okay. So I'm going to now just introduce you to the 11 chakras. We have traditionally teach people about 7 chakras, the 7 physical chakras, but I'm going to take it a little further because I work with 11 and then some, a few more of what I'm not going to go into tonight, but I'll talk to you about the 11 chakras. And it begins with the Earth Star chakra, which sits about anywhere from 1 foot to 3 feet below your feet into Mother Earth. Sometimes it's deeper than that. Sometimes it's not quite that far, but everybody's a little different. And I usually find it around 2 to 3 feet deep into the earth, the Earth Star chakra. And that connects us to the root, which then connects to the 2nd chakra, which is the sacrum, the 3rd, then to which is the solar plexus. Then we go to the heart, which is the 4th chakra. But in the 11 chakra system, we have the heart and we have the high heart, which sits at the level of the thymus. Okay. The difference is subtle in that the heart chakra deals with us and our relationships with people and places and things surrounding us in our immediate environment, bringing love forward from and to the universe and to everyone else. The high heart has a specialty in that it has a spiritual connection to it that's in a higher vibration than the heart is itself. So there's more of a spiritual love. Our spiritual awareness and sense of love comes from that high heart chakra. Then we have the throat chakra, and then the 6th chakra is the 3rd eye. Then we have the crown chakra at the top of the head. And then there's the soul star, which sits about 5 inches or so above the crown, maybe a little more. And then the stellar gateway chakra, which takes us to source, to creator, to our God, to all the way up. And so if you raise your hand to the straight up, wherever your fingers wind up, that's where your soul star or your stellar gateway is at the end of your arm. And this is how they're lined up in our body. And you can see we start at the Earth Star chakra beneath the feet and work our way straight up to the stellar gateway. So these are the 11 that I'm going to share with you that are very prominent. Now, Some of these are not within the physical body. The stellar gateway, the soul star, and the earth star chakra are not within the physical body. Therefore, they don't require clearing. However, we do need to be connected to them. All our other chakras need to be able to receive the information coming from these other three places. And we need to keep upgrading our chakras with the information that the stellar gateway and the soul star and the earth star chakra are bringing to us in the form of higher vibrations. And those vibrations change, and they, as we evolve with our energies, we can receive more and more higher vibrations from the universe, from the quantum world, to bring into our being, our physical being, and we evolve as higher spiritual beings as a result of that. We evolve as stronger physical beings. We heal better. We are resistant to the everyday stressors when we continue to work towards evolving at that higher level and receiving the new information codes that come from the light above. Now, every chakra has 4 realms: body, emotion, mind, and spirit. And when we work with the chakras, we want to include all 4 of the realms to provide the appropriate balance. They each do specific things for us, as you can tell by their locations. So we work with all 4 realms of each chakra when we do chakra clearing. Now, not every discipline of energy healing uses all 4 modalities of healing in each chakra. Yeah, I'm just going to leave it at that. And it doesn't mean it's wrong not to, but in this high vibrational work that we use and raising the art of frequency, we do address the body, emotion, mind, and spirit. And all of this lies within the chakras, and it also lies within the aura as well. All right, now, any questions at this point?
Not yet, Gail.
Okay, all right. Well, great. So now what you see in your screen is what I have images of is the root chakra key and the earth star chakra key. And they're called keys because these images of the sacred geometry open up our chakras like a key for a lock, unlock it so that we can release old energy and bring in the new energy and raise our vibration to another level. And what I would like to do for you tonight is just a little bit of root chakra clearing and connect you to your earth star chakra. So I just want to make sure there's no questions before I start that little process for you. So you're all going to experience distance energy in its finest.
We have a quick comment from Lori, Gail. I'm just taking it all in. So interesting.
Very good. Yeah. You know, and a lot of this, what I'm saying is what many people don't hear much about. And I think that it's very important that we're all aware of the options that we have for raising our vibration, helping our bodies, our minds, our spirit, and our emotions to evolve to that higher level of being a spiritual being, because that's who we are. And so it's my purpose is to help as many as possible to know that this is attainable for everyone. Everyone can have this. Everyone can raise their vibrations. Everyone can be the best that they can be with this knowledge. Okay, so I'll go ahead and get started with some clearing here. And I did a little work before we started, and I worked with the 4 realms of the root chakra card deck, and Spirit gave me the image of body. Okay, root chakra, body. So I'm going to work with the layer of the body in the root chakra. Now, the root chakra is called the root of peace. It speaks to the physical body. I carry frequencies to strengthen your physical self. I support the health of your adrenals, hips, legs, feet, and large intestine, and a whole lot more, but that's the basics of it. Okay, so this is the root chakra body. So I'm going to work with that. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to play the bowls to raise my vibration. And I'd like you to just allow yourself to be open to shifting and changing, accepting, receiving, letting go of whatever needs to be let go of. You may feel some shifts of energies moving through your body. You may feel some emotions come forward that need to be released, and that's all okay. If you do start feeling emotions that are coming forward that you don't know why, or you don't want to be experiencing them right now, simply place your hand on your forehead and the other hand behind your head and just hold this and breathe. And this is working with your neurovascular system, which processes out those emotions that come up whenever we do energy clearing. As everything translates into an emotion within our body. All cellular function breaks down to an emotion, and it can be expressed that way then. So we do want it to come forward. But if you notice it, you can just hold your head. It's called neurovascular holds. So let's raise some vibration here. So now I am reaching out to those of you who wish to have a very gentle clearing of the first layer of your root chakra. If you choose not to have this done, that's fine. It won't happen if you say no to yourself, because Spirit will allow you to retain that for yourself. I won't go against anything that Spirit says. So for those of you who are willing, say yes to yourself, and then we'll go ahead and start clearing the root chakra. And I am going to use some hand movements when I do this. So I'm going to just clear the bottom of your feet. And I'm making small little circles, slow circles in an anti-clockwise or counterclockwise movement with my left hand. And what this does is it spins the energy in a way that we can clear out blockages and pull those energies that need to be rebalanced, pull them forward so they can be moved on. I do a lot of coughing, jiggling. This is all energy moving through my body. I feel it, I sense it. Deep breathing, sighs. It's the way the energy moves through my physical body. What comes from your body comes to my body, and I filter it through to release it. My other hand, my right hand, is facing down to the earth, and whatever I'm picking up from you and your earth or from your root chakra is coming through me and out my right hand to Mother Earth. So I'm kind of like this. My left hand receives the energy, my right hand delivers it. So I'm receiving your unbalanced energy and I'm delivering it to Mother Earth for recycling. Okay, stop there. Shake my hands off. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to place my receiving hand up to the light, the universe, where all that energy is in the quantum field, because I'm in the quantum field right now working with you. And I am going to use my right hand then to deliver the cleared energy, the white light, the high vibrational energy from the quantum world, the universe, and I'm going to deliver that to you, and it's going to go into your root chakra, into your feet in a clockwise fashion. Whenever we release energy, we replace it. We don't want to be walking around on holes in the bottom of our feet, because if I didn't fill this back up, you could fall over. And it's happened to me before. It's just like, you're walking on funky shoes when you don't get that energy replaced back into the body. The high vibration coming back towards you, that's gentle but high. It is of the quantum field. It is white light, purest white light with maybe some gold edges, because it's so white, it's shining gold even around the edges of it. And some of the white light is so bright white and pure white that it looks blue in the center of it. Okay, so now I have replaced that which I took out the old unbalanced, and I put in the balanced white light. And now I am going to connect you to your Earth Star chakra so that you are grounded. Very important to stay grounded. And if we disconnect from our Earth Star chakra, we are not grounded, and then everything is chaos in our day. And we certainly want to have a peaceful, beautiful, blessed day. So we got to stay grounded. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to weave between your root chakra and the Earth Star chakra. And I'm going to do figure eights between the two. And I'm using the image on the screen as my weaving pattern here. Connecting root chakra to Earth Star chakra and back again, and bringing that yin energy up from the earth into the root, connecting the root deeply into Mother Earth, just like that. And it's done. So we cleared just the first layer of the body, part of the root chakra, worked within the body layer, the body realm, and cleared that gently, and then refilled what we took out with the white light of the universe. Bring you energies of high vibration for your own evolution. And then we connected you to the earth, your earth star chakra. We all have our own personal earth star chakras, like we have all our other chakras. And that's done. Pretty easy.
I asked Gail if anyone felt anything in particular, and Don had said, I could feel the energy clearing and then filling me up. Felt so wonderful. And then the connection to the Earth Star chakra. Thank you so much. Much love to you, Gail.
Thank you. Thank you. If you didn't feel anything, there's nothing wrong with you, okay? Doesn't mean it didn't work either. It just means you didn't feel it, but it still moved. The energy moved, it cleared it, and it refilled, and it reconnected you. So it always will work, but some people just don't feel energy shifts. And sometimes you just need to be exposed to it a number of times before your sensitivities build up to it so that you can feel those subtle shifts. Remember, they're subtle shifts. They're itty bitty bitty teeny weeny little molecules moving around, and they're not really, it's not like, okay, let's move. That's not a fist hitting the wall. It's teeny weeny. You can't even see them. So it's about creating a sensitivity and opening yourself to it, and then you start to feel some things. And even at that, some people never feel energy movement, and that's still okay. Nothing wrong with it. There are energy healers that don't feel energy moving. You don't have to feel it to make it happen.
So like with this particular, you started with the root chakra key. Is that where you start every time, or how do you decide where to start with a person's energy?
It all depends on what spirit gives me. I don't decide anything about your energies. I step into your energy field and I ask your energies what they need. Now you tell me your goals, and I get an idea about what I could do for you, but it all comes down to, what does your energy say? Because your energy speaks very loud. I can hear every word that it has to say, and it will tell me yes, no, please do this. Don't bother with clearing that because you need to do this first. This is a priority. So the energy will speak. So it's different for everyone. And I have a chakra clearing protocol that I was given by Spirit a number of months ago that I've been working with. And it is random. It's totally given out. We clear the chakras according to how Spirit dictates every realm of each chakra and each chakra. So Gail does nothing on her own here. This is all about your energies and what you need and what Spirit is guiding, because Spirit is ultimately smarter than all of us. So I listen. I've learned to listen to Spirit and not this ego up here. The minute I start thinking, oh my God, I can do this, I'll do this, I'll do this, and I get into your energies, and it's all thrown out the window because Spirit says, you're not going there. You're going to do this, this, and that. Maybe some other day you can do those other things, but I try to leave my ego out of the equation. It has no place there. This work has really allowed me to learn what humility is all about, and gratitude, and grace in working with energy. Because I used to have this really huge ego that dictated every single thing that came out of my mouth, and thoughts and words and deeds. And I got into so much trouble in my life from doing that. And I'm so grateful that I have learned this work. It's become my passion because it has healed me tremendously. And through my own healing, I'm able to help others.
It's wonderful, Gail. It's very calming to hear you talk. We have another question. So if we trace the figure 8 regularly from the feet down into the earth, will this help with grounding and keep us more balanced during the day?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Being aware and conscious of your Earth Star chakra, just being aware that it's down there will keep you attached to it. The figure 8s reinforce it. It's another tool to make it stronger and to have a higher vibratory connection, higher spiritual vibratory connection to the Earth Star chakra. So absolutely. Yeah.
So sort of like what you're saying is once you practice it, the more you practice it throughout your day, the more it sort of influences the healing sessions with you, and then vice versa.
It does. Definitely, it does. And I will say this too right now, that there are more than one ways to get grounded, okay? This is one way. But if you don't stay connected to that Earth Star chakra, you will not stay grounded. Any other comments? Questions? Because our time is
So
ready.
there's a question, what ungrounds us?
Anything that's stress related. Anything that's stress related. Maybe it's the hole I just poked through the side of my tights as I was trying to put them on. I got stressed over that. I got ungrounded. Maybe I dropped my favorite dish. It broke. I'm ungrounded. Maybe I saw an accident down the road. It ungrounded me. Maybe I found I had a nest of robin eggs outside my porch, and I went out the one morning and here they were all broken on the earth. They were all dead. And I'm like, oh no. So that ungrounded me. I had to reground myself because I felt so sad that those babies didn't get a chance to incubate. So any kind of stressor will unground us. A memory of something that was stressful. It doesn't have to happen today. It could have happened 50 years ago. And I'm still thinking about it. You know, I'm like, why was I forced to eat that cereal when I didn't like it? And I got in trouble for not eating it when I was, 6 years old. I think about that, I can get ungrounded in no time. So anything that brings a stressful thought that can unbalance our energies ungrounds us.
So as quickly as we become ungrounded, we can then reconnect as quickly.
Yes. As soon as I know that I'm not grounded, I'm like, boom, I'm right back on it. I'm weaving between my root chakra and my Earth Star chakra, and bringing that energy up, all the way up. Yep. Only takes a second. Another really good way to stay connected is to spoon the bottom of your feet with a stainless steel spoon. That is not as readily available because you can't always spoon the bottom of your feet. Like if you're driving, you can't stop and always spoon your feet, or if you're walking in work, you can't always spoon your feet. But spooning the bottom of the feet helps keep us grounded and connected to the Earth Star chakra because of the electromagnetic energies that we hold. So that's another way. There's a million ways to be grounded.
So sort of what you were talking about in the beginning, the different types of energies then. So the spoon is the electromagnetic, whereas what you were doing is?
it is also electromagnetic. However, it's functioning through high vibrational energy fields versus a spoon. I don't have my spoon with me here, or I'd pop that up, but yeah.
That's great.
So I don't want to keep anyone anymore. We are a few minutes over our time.